It's been 3 years. So what inspired you? Why now? You know, why bring the podcast back now after 3 years? You could have waited longer. You could have not done it. Like,
let's be real, if I'd waited any longer, I would have given you a headache, crying and complaining about why am I not yet doing it? I feel like it was time. I think that I had gone through my own process of grief. I'd gone through my own process of accepting who I am now and actually growing to love the person that I've become as a result of, 2020, 2021, those couple of years and the challenges that I went through. And so I felt ready in that sense. But also I had made the decision that I'm going to show up as best as I can, that perfectionism is keeping me stuck. I think for so long, like, I was like, it needs to be like this and it needs to be like this. And I'm not coming back unless I can show up in this type of way. But I was challenged, and I have been the whole year, to work with what I have in my hand. Like, as I keep saying to you, this year for me has been all about giving God something to work with. And so that for me is about, handing over something, being able to have evidence to say, hey, God, look at what I did with what you gave me. I did bring it back. I did bring people onto the podcast. I did transition into having video, because it's kind of odd to ask for more when you're not doing much with what God's already given you, and I think that's what I had to accept. By the grace of God, I feel like now it's the right time. It was the perfect time.
That's it, and God's timing is God's timing. I think about David when he was anointed. They didn't just say, okay, this kid is the king now. He had to go through a process of looking after the sheep, killing the bear, killing the lion, killing Goliath, having Saul try and kill him, and then him being humble and not trying to kill the king. And when the king finally died, him not being prideful and actually mourning the king when everyone else was taking the mick out of him. And that's when he became king. He still wasn't perfect, but he had to go through all of that stuff to prepare him for his assignment. So I feel like that's what God has been doing with him.
Definitely. And I love that you mentioned David, because one of my favorite things about his story is, is the idea that he was already killing the lion and the bear, like in the backside of the desert, what looked like a waste of time, or maybe, not like a big deal. He wasn't on a big stage, but all of that was preparing him to kill Goliath. He literally said, I've killed a lion, I killed a bear, so I can take down this Philistine, you know? So it's like, okay, so even those years that I had out of the podcast, there's learnings, God was teaching my hands, there's things that I've been paying attention to that have made me prepared for this moment. So
that's it.
I appreciate that.